Straight ahead on 12 News, a first-of-its-kind Minnesota program at a Brooklyn Park school.
It's a great opportunity for our students and families here.
Plus, something starting today that's expanding in Golden Valley. It may affect your neighborhood. And later...
Ramirez! Ramirez! Christian Ramirez!
He's Minnesota's voice of soccer. You'll meet this Robbinsdale native coming up. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. We begin today with a look ahead to the fall elections.
Today was deadline day for local candidates to file for office. Among the interesting developments, a total of 9 candidates have filed for 3 open Brooklyn Park City Council seats. New faces will be elected because the incumbents are not running. There's also the possibility that the city may have to hold a special election for mayor, since current mayor Jeff Lundy is running for state senate in District 36. And in Crystal, there is a contested mayoral race in that city. Former Crystal Mayor Renee Bowman has filed to run against incumbent Jim Adams. In 2012, Adams beat Bowman by 369 votes.
U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar is talking about ways to make America more competitive in the worldwide marketplace, and she thinks Minnesota businesses stand to benefit. The Democratic senator spoke to business and civic leaders in the Brooklyn Center Rotary Club today. Klobuchar is leading a bipartisan effort to lift the trade embargo with Cuba, which would make it easier for Minnesota businesses to export products to Cuba.
Well, the Cubans need a lot of things. Their economy's been stalled out. The people are way ahead of the government. For us, it means agriculture exports, but it also means everything from medical devices to anything that we have here in our economy, you can have in Cuba. It's just that they're 90 miles off our shore, and we haven't been selling things to them.
Klobuchar and Republican Congressman Tom Emmer visited Cuba in March with President Obama.
In Dayton, a driver died after crashing into mailboxes, a retaining wall, and a tree. It happened Monday night shortly after 10 o'clock just east of French Lake. Police say the vehicle was taking a sharp turn before the crash occurred. The 45-year-old driver was pronounced dead at the scene. His identity has not yet been released.
Maranatha Christian Academy is breaking new ground by offering students something not currently offered at any other high school in the state. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
Changes are on the way for some students at Maranatha Christian Academy.
We are the only school that will be offering a full Associate of Arts degree on our campus.
Juniors and seniors will be able to earn an Associate of Arts degree along with their high school diploma.
The program is 60 credits. It's a full Associate of Arts degree. 50 of the credits are completely covered through the state of Minnesota.
Those credits fall under the Minnesota Department of Education post-secondary enrollment options, and students are charged for those classes. The other 10 credits are religious courses that students will have to pay out of pocket.
So those students would have to pay for that through early college. It's at a discounted rate of $199 per credit.
Adjunct professors from the University of Northwestern in St. Paul will come to Maranatha and teach the students.
They're taking the basic, math, English, science.
So far, half of the incoming junior class has signed up for the program.
I think it will be a lot of work, but I'm excited for the challenge.
Marion Cole will be a junior next year. She's focusing on business college classes.
I'm really excited because with the college classes, it gives me experience before I actually step onto a college campus.
Maranatha officials say the associate degree program will give students a competitive edge.
Being able to allow our students to maximize their opportunity with college credits on our campus it's a great opportunity for our students and families here.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The program starts in the next school year. The class of 2018 will be the first graduating class to earn both a high school diploma, and an Associate of Arts degree.
Golden Valley is taking a proactive approach to protecting property values in the city with drive-by inspections.
Just taking a look at every house as I go by. I'll slow down. Like this one here has the house numbers, so that's Yard could use a little work.
City crews will be out for the next 6 weeks, driving by and inspecting the exteriors and yards of all properties in Golden Valley. And this year it includes commercial buildings too. They started the property maintenance sweep program 3 years ago instead of just responding to complaint calls. Lawns growing higher than 8 inches and missing house numbers are the most common violations, but rarely do crews need to issue a citation.
Most of the time people are just not aware that there's a problem, and that's why we're out there. And I would much rather stop and chat with somebody and get something taken care of versus writing orders.
Inspections focus on what can be seen from the street or the sidewalk. For millions of Americans, barbecues are a common tradition over the Memorial Day weekend.
And it's likely that people will encounter plenty of other opportunities to eat food from the grill this summer. And in today's Health Check, Elaine Cleveland looks at one way to have a healthier summer barbecue.
Burgers and brats are a common sight at a backyard barbecue. You're also likely to find buns, condiments, and soft drinks nearby. But take a close look at their nutrition labels, and you'll find that they all contain the sweetener high fructose corn syrup.
In 2014, the average American was consuming about 27 pounds of high fructose corn syrup per year.
Brenna Thompson is a registered and licensed dietitian from Nutritional Weight and Wellness in Maple Grove.
There is new research coming out showing that high fructose corn syrup specifically can kind of turn on specific genes in our brain that then can slow our metabolism.
In addition, she says the sweetener can also put people at risk for neurological diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
The high fructose corn syrup, the new studies are really just showing that alters these genes in our brain in their own specific way, in ways that glucose or sucrose do not.
That said, she's not suggesting we back off on the barbecues. Instead, she says people should look to make healthy substitutions.
Looking for buns for your hamburgers, your hot dogs that do not contain high fructose corn syrup.
Or you could rid yourself of the bun altogether. For a hamburger, you could use a portobello mushroom. For a hot dog, you could replace the bun with a lettuce wrap.
And we're using real food.
As for condiments, she says it's a matter of reading nutrition labels and making the right choices.
Looking at things like your ketchup and your pickle relish, your barbecue sauces, look for brands that aren't using high fructose corn syrup.
As for drinks, she suggests laying off the soda and mixing pomegranate juice with sparkling water. Just a few simple tips for a healthier backyard barbecue. For Health Check, Elaine Cleveland, 12 News.
Now, the Corn Refiners Association argues that while high fructose corn syrup contributes to calories in the diet, they claim there is no scientific evidence that the sweetener is a unique contributor to obesity or diabetes. Coming up, the Robbinsdale native who has turned into Minnesota's voice of soccer.
And then a little bit later in sports, top seed Wayzata piles up the runs in a section baseball win.
But first, the skies clearing on Wednesday with temperatures a bit on the cooler side. But no one is happier about the growth of pro soccer in the Twin Cities than Chris Lidholm.
That's right. The Cooper High School alum is now a broadcaster for the Minnesota United. As Eric Nelson found out, Lidholm has been around the Minnesota soccer scene for more than 2 decades.
There'd be just hundreds of fans, and now we've got 9,000 in here regularly, and so it's all packed. And
Chris Lidholm has soccer in his DNA.
You know, I've always enjoyed doing these games.
His father discovered that when he was growing up in Robbinsdale.
Every time they'd give me a ball, I'd put it down and kick it. I wouldn't throw it. And he thought, hey, soccer's got to be in this guy's future.
Now Minnesota coming on the attack.
As a youngster, Lidholm got his kicks watching the old Minnesota Kicks at Met Stadium.
And we're going to have a goal kick.
We went to every game except 2 from 1976 to 1981.
Lidholm parlayed that soccer passion into a career.
I love doing what I do.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to be doing it this long. So
welcome back to the National Sports Center, everyone. Chris Lidholm.
He has been the voice of pro soccer in the Twin Cities
cuts it to his left
since 1993.
So 24 years under my belt.
And is currently Minnesota United's play-by-play broadcaster.
It's pretty cool to hear him. He's put his own twist into the goals, and I think he has a little special effect for every player.
Come and get it.
Lidholm's signature is energy and excitability.
I love that interaction with the fans.
Cruz trying to catch more off his line!
As he describes the action.
Everyone's paying attention to what you're saying. They're criticizing you, probably more than us on the field, to be honest. You're trying to keep in tune the whole fan base that's watching and entertain them, and I think he does a really good job of that.
Justin Davis quickly up the left.
Earlier this season, Christian Ramirez scored a dramatic game-winning goal against New York in the 90th minute.
Christian Ramirez!
It was the first time Min U had ever beaten the Cosmos, and Lidholm captured the magic moment.
He caught it. He's got his own extending of my last name that he says.
Back in his youth, Lidholm cheered for kickstar Alan Willie. Now, Willie is his broadcast sidekick.
Watching Alan as a player, seeing him out there scoring many goals in a Hall of Fame career, and now the opportunity to stand alongside of him.
Chris began his broadcasting career back in 1990. Some guy by the name of John Jacobson gave him his first chance.
He did.
While watching an Armstrong Cooper game,
They'll be starting in less than an hour.
Lidholm saw Jacobson doing a broadcast for Northwest Community Television.
And I just, spur of the moment, decided to walk up and offer my color commentary experience, which was zero at the time. John gave me a chance, and that was kind of the start.
With the MLS coming soon to the Twin Cities and a new soccer-specific stadium on the horizon,
they're awesome. They're awesome.
Lidholm believes that Minnesota's soccer arrow is pointing up.
I think it's great. I think it's going to bring that top level, or what's considered the top level in North America, to Minnesota, to a state and to a fan base that is fantastic when it comes to supporting soccer.
In Blaine, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
Lidholm spent 20 years as a college referee and was also a top goalkeeper when he played for the state select team. So hometown boy makes good. Started right here. I love it.
John must have seen something.
That's exactly right. Coming up, Robbinsdale teachers collect thousands and thousands of books.
But first in sports, Hopkins is coming on strong in the prep baseball playoffs, and John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. We are well into the baseball playoffs, and a couple of games over the long holiday weekend, a couple more tonight.
Right. The busy week this week with section playoffs and action and a lot of different sports, but yeah, baseball one of them. Section baseball playoffs are underway in Section 6 4A, while the other two Class 4A sections in our area waited until today to get started. Section 6 has now completed its first two rounds. Armstrong hosted Hopkins in second round play on Memorial Day. Bottom of the second, Falcons runner at third, one out. Ben Wallin with a great play from right field, lasering this throw home. Armstrong runner out. Score remains 0-0. Top of the sixth, bases loaded for Hopkins, and the Royals get a big hit. John Cook cracks a fly ball to the fence. That clears the bases. Triple for Cook. It's a 4-0 Royals lead. He would later score on an infield grounder. Wallin works the final two innings in relief of starter Jeff Cooper, and Hopkins advances with a 5-0 win. Wayzata is the top seed in Section 6. The Trojans dodged the rain last Friday, and they got in their second round game that day against St. Louis Park. This one played at Wayzata Central Middle School. Trojans already up 1-0 in the second inning. Reese Smith at the plate. He singles to right field. Cody Getters scores, and it's 2-0 Trojans. Still in the second, Danny Dice with a run-scoring hit to left. Smith comes home, and it's 3-0 Wayzata through two innings. Park ties it with 3 runs in the third, but in the fourth, Dice comes through again. Smith and Charles Engdahl will score on this 2-run single by Dice. Wayzata breaks the tie. They go ahead for good at 5-3. Griffin Schneider brings home 2 more runs with this single to left. Dice scores, and Cam Keenan also in, and the Trojans are up 7-3. Jake Marsh will cap off this inning with a 2-run homer over the scoreboard in center. Wayzata wins. They'll play Hopkins on Saturday in the winner's bracket final. Armstrong is still alive in the tourney, and they host Minneapolis Southwest on Wednesday. Many of our other teams begin section tournament play on Tuesday. We'll have highlights from 2 games Wednesday starting at 4 here on 12 News. Playoff action heats up in Lacrosse this week as section tournaments get underway. In Section 5, boys play. Benilde St. Margaret's and Blake are the top 2 seeds. Armstrong is seeded 3rd, followed by Totino Grace, Hopkins, and Providence Academy. Breck is seeded 8th and Cooper 9th. Cooper is at Breck in her first round game Tuesday. The winner of that game faces Benilde in the quarterfinals Thursday. Hopkins will host St. Louis Park. Armstrong home against Providence, and Blake at St. Louis Park. Section 7, Champlain Park, the number 3 seed behind Anoka and Blaine. Rebels will host the Centennial Coon Rapids winner in the quarterfinals Wednesday. In Section 8, Rogers is the top seed ahead of Elk River and Osseo Park Center. St. Michael Albertville is 4th, Buffalo 5th, Wayzata 6th, and Maple Grove seeded 8th. In first round play Tuesday, Maple Grove hosts Monticello. In the quarterfinals Wednesday, the winner of that game plays at Rogers. Buffalo is at St. Michael, and Wayzata will play Osseo Park Center at Park Center. Now in girls lacrosse in Section 5, Blake and Breck are the number 1 and 2 seeds, with Benilde 3rd, then it's Armstrong, Hopkins, and Totino Grace. Cooper will play at Columbia Heights in a play-in game Tuesday. The winner meets Blake in the quarterfinals Thursday. Hopkins is at Armstrong in an afternoon game. Grace plays at Benilde, and Breck will host St. Louis Park. In Section 7, unbeaten Champlain Park, easy choice is the top seed. Fellow District 11 teams, Coon Rapids, Anoka, and Blaine, are seeded 2, 3, and 4. Champlain Park will host the Andover Duluth winner in the quarterfinals. And finally, in Section 8, Maple Grove is the number 1 seed, followed by Osseo Park Center. Then it's Monticello, Wayzata, and Buffalo. Wednesday, Maple Grove is home in the quarterfinals. Wayzata hosts Buffalo, and Osseo Park Center also has a home game against a first-round winner at Osseo High School. Section tennis play, singles and doubles, continuing Wednesday at Baseline Tennis Center.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, a huge boost to the classroom.
The collection that will help area students in a big way. Next. Well, our final story is a good read, literally.
Thanks to the Robbinsdale Federation of Teachers and First Books Publishing Company, 40,000 brand new books will be given away this week. Books will be given to teachers for their classrooms on Friday and to low-income families on Saturday between 9 and 1 p.m. at the Sandberg Learning Center. For some children, these books are a huge boost to their learning.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they don't even have access necessarily to get to a library and have a library card. So this way they can read at home, and our teachers as well will have lots of extra books to use as incentives, gifts, or just for their school libraries.
The books will be delivered by semi-truck on Thursday to a district warehouse. There will be 100 volunteers on hand to do the sorting. That's wonderful.
Yeah, books are still important.
They are.
A lot of people read on computers, but yeah, to have a book.
In your hand. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Wednesday starting at 4.